When we talk about the suffering of Native Americans throughout United States history, it's important to understand that this wasn't the result of one administration or one moment. It was a long chain of presidential decisions that shaped more than a century of displacement, warfare, forced removal, and cultural destruction. It began with George Washington, the nation's first president, who authorized military campaigns against Native nations in the Ohio Valley, and set early federal policies that pressured tribes into surrendering land. His actions established a model future administrations expanded. Thomas Jefferson pushed this further. He promoted a strategy of forcing tribes into debt to pressure them into selling land, and began advocating for relocating Native people west of the Mississippi. James Madison continued the pattern during the War of 1812, when conflict devastated tribes allied with the British and opened the door to further land loss. James Monroe's administration openly adopted Indian removal as a national policy. By the time John Quincy Adams took office, the federal government was already negotiating treaties that many tribes signed under pressure and duress. Then came Andrew Jackson, the president most associated with Native American suffering. He drove the Indian Removal Act of 1830, ignored Supreme Court rulings protecting tribal sovereignty, and forced the relocation of the Cherokee, Muskogee, Seminole, Chickasaw, and Choctaw peoples. His successor, Martin Van Buren, executed the removals with brutal efficiency. Under his orders, thousands of Cherokee were rounded up and marched west in what became known as the Trail of Tears. After that, John Tyler continued forced removals throughout the Southeast and Midwest. James K. Polk's expansionist drive during the Mexican-American War displaced many Native nations across the West. Zachary Taylor, who had fought Native nations as a general, supported aggressive Western settlement. Franklin Pierce approved treaties that stripped more tribal lands, especially in the Midwest and Pacific Northwest. James Buchanan allowed territorial governments to violate indigenous rights, and federal policy faltered as settlers pushed deeper into Native territory. Even Abraham Lincoln's administration contributed. During the Dakota conflict of 1862, Lincoln approved the mass execution of 38 Dakota men, the largest execution in American history. Andrew Johnson shifted federal Indian policy toward military domination, intensifying conflicts on the plains. Ulysses S. Grant introduced a peace policy, but it still led to violent clashes and pushed tribes onto tightly controlled reservations. Rutherford B. Hayes oversaw forced relocations and campaigns against Native groups resisting confinement. Benjamin Harrison's administration opened millions of acres of Native land to white settlers and created the conditions that led to the Wounded Knee Massacre in 1890. William McKinley